Good evening, everybody. Welcome to round 4 of the North American Grand Prix GT2 series. Coming to you live from Townsville Street Circuit in Queensland, Australia. This is our last stop down under before we head off to the States next week at Laguna. It's been pretty fun down here visiting some new tracks here in GT2, and this one looks to be a doozy. So before we get any further, let me introduce my partner here tonight, Brad Barris. Brad, welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Al. So we stay south of we stay in the southern equator here this week also, as we were in Queensland last week. And I love this track, Al. Love the Australian tracks, love the street courses. I absolutely love this track. It's going to be a heck of a challenge for the guys tonight. Really looking forward to seeing some tight times and close actions this week.
Yeah, so I want to apologize to everybody who tried to tune in last week. Had some issues with Twitch and XSplit. One of the two was giving us a hard time, but we don't want to leave. But yeah, Brad managed to fill in for us there, and looks like we got it all sorted out. So we just moved over to qualifying. We got some time here. Let's take a quick look at the track map. So 13 corners. This is a street circuit, so it's going to be pretty tight in some sections. Turns 2 and 3 especially. Could see some passing opportunities there, and a couple nice quick sweepers here as well, Brad. Pretty nice track. I really enjoyed driving.
Yeah, that turn 3 and 4 complex, a left and right hand, pretty medium speed sweeper, and then 5 and 6 also a devilish little chicane complex, where I think that the proof of the pudding is going to be the guys that are able to get off that turn 6, second part of that chicane, are really going to have the advantage in overall speed and lap times tonight. It's a tricky little acceleration zone, got some bumps on the curbing through there. It's going to be a lot of fun to see just who is going to be able to maintain the grip and control over the course of the hour event.
So we're on board here with Chris Moses. Chris was looking pretty quick in the practice session here. Let's ride along with him, have a look at this track. Firsthand, traffic is going to play an issue here. It's like Kurt lagging out. So notice that in practice. Kurt's going to have to get that done. So that was a short little preview there.
Yeah, and hopefully not a preview of things to come.
We're on board with Jaime Moore. Jaime Moore as well was looking quite quick in practice. Looks like Thomas Schubeck just ahead of him up on the road.
Yeah, Jaime Moore turned in the quickest practice time, but I wonder if that wasn't a qualifying lap for Jaime Moore. So there may be a few guys behind who had not turned qualifying laps in that practice session. A few more countries heard from out there, I suspect.
We got close to 40 guys here tonight. And traffic is going to be an issue here for sure, especially in qualifying. These guys are going to want to set a time, but that's Jaime Moore with an incredible cut there.
Yeah, and as you can see, the ground that he lost to the Corvette, that's obviously not the quick way around there. You want to try to take as much as you can, but those curbs just are not forgiving.
He's gonna have to back off here. Let's see, betters this time the legal way. He's gonna have to DQ himself and start from the back. So doesn't look like Jaime currently in 10th. Make that 11th. So Kevin Savoie quickly to the top of the timesheets at the 1:10.8. We saw some guys in the low 1:11s in practice. 1:11.1 was the best time.
Yeah, that's the best time we saw, of course, already, as mentioned, Kevin Savoie into the 1 minute 10 second range.
Nice little complex right here. It's kind of a bit of a tricky chicane there with some high curbing and upsets the car quite a bit. But coming up here, it's a nice little, this last sector here, it's pretty quick. You can really be late on the brakes.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say. That braking zone you just saw Kevin Savoie go through, you can be very aggressive in that braking zone, and it usually works out pretty well. This last corner here, however,
very tricky.
It's a tricky one. Yeah.
Kevin does not improve. Jaime Moore has jumped up to the top there with the 110.
Yeah, Kevin Savoie did improve only, sorry, it did actually improve only slightly, but you could see the big wobble coming off the last corner there. That really did hurt his time. It would have been quite a bit better.
Tell you what, one guy who has impressed here early on is Matt Taylor. I saw his practice times, and he was around the 5th or 6th place in practice, and he's carrying that here in qualifying. So it looks like he's got some good pace. Currently in 4th here in qualifying.
Yeah, it's looking great for Matt. You know, I've had the opportunity to chat with Matt Taylor a little bit. Ooh, he's smoking out there. Not technically supposed to be doing that during a timed qualifying session, but Matt has been putting a lot of work into this Porsche and has really been up on it in terms of the practice laps. He's ready to go. He's ready to start doing some damage in this GT2 classification.
So let's see where Matt ends up here. That BMW behind him, not going to be too happy. No improvement from Matt, so that's off. Running order right now early on is Jaime Moore, followed by Kevin Savoie. Aaron Parsons, he's on a hot lap, currently in 3rd in the Mustang.
Had a chance to run some recon laps behind Aaron Parsons. He was getting through the chicane complex very nicely in that Ford. Oh, not so good here though.
Rodrigo Triana, sorry. 2nd place last week at Queensland. Is tonight going to be his night where he breaks through and gets that win? We saw him, what was it, Ruapuna finished, well, was leading that race much of the night between him and Monroy. Had a strong result last week, and looks like he's ready to break through here.
Yeah, the Columbia contingent here, you know, 3 of our top 5 individual driver points leaders here are from the Colombian teams. And, you know, Triana and Monroy, after putting on that fine performance the last couple weeks, really, missed out at points altogether at Interlagos, or else they would be leading this team championship by a wide margin.
So Triana jumps up to 2nd behind Jaime Moore, another Colombian. So Triana is carrying a bit of weight going into tonight. Laurent Vassman currently in 7th. Laurent and Mercedes about to start a lap. Take a quick look at the track conditions here. 104-degree track temp, 83-degree ambient. No chance of rain here at this circuit. I'm sure these guys have had enough of rain.
Yeah, we've had a couple gully washers, that's for sure, the last couple weeks. No different last week there at Queensland, for sure.
Yeah, we started the season with rain at Interlagos. We had a wet Ruapuna qualifying session. And Queensland was a wet race, so this guy's hoping for some dry track. Continue to watch Laurent.
Yeah, Laurent Weissman collected only a couple points this year there at Interlagos and Ruapuna. I think had the opportunity to run pretty well at Queensland, but didn't quite get it.
No improvement for Laurent. Christian Hamilton currently in 10th. Sorry guys, I'm just recovering from a flu or cold or something, but so if I break away, it's to cough and clear my throat. But Christian currently in 11th. Christian performing quite well of late. His teammate Dave Canavan not going to be here tonight, but Hamilton has been showing us a good pace, both in GT2 and GT1.
Yeah, indeed, he has, of course, had a great run going there Thursday night. Got caught out a little bit by the weather in that event, knocked him back down through the field a little bit. Actually, surprisingly, Christian Hamilton collecting points only at Interlagos this season. Only picked up 6 points there, so no doubt he'll be looking to pick up a few more here tonight, get himself back in this thing.
Chris Moses currently languishing back in 12th. Let's see what's he got for a time. 1:11.2. 1:11.1 in practice 2. Not sure if those were if that was race pace, or you can really see he's running that Audi wide. Let's see where Chris ends up here at the end of this lap.
Yeah, and Chris Moses in with 8 other drivers in the 11.2 range. Positions 9 through 16th, all at the same time.
We ran our fun race, our preseason fun race here in GT2. I'll tell you what, Brad, it was you and I battling up front. A couple guys who never run GT2. Maybe we should consider doing it full time as Moses jumps up to P6.
I recall us doing that full time before, Al, and having some success out there in that Marcos.
Yeah, we certainly did. Get further back, Ian Jolicoeur back. Well, he just dipped back to 13th. But it really is a fun track. I think I ran the Aston, one of the Astons.
Yeah, and unfortunately you gave up that position late through no fault of your own, as I recall. A little bit of lap traffic problem there in the chicane.
Yeah, Rich Roman filling in for his good buddy David Poole in 14th.
No love lost between those guys, but I know David, or rather Rich Roman, being the professional that he is, will put in a good effort.
Good on Rich to fill in for Dave, who's not going to be here tonight. Thomas Schubeck back in 17th. John Houston. Houston's having a pretty nice start to this season, currently at 19th. Jens Klempnauer back in 20th, making his return here to GT2. Nice to have him back. Mike Trussler. These guys switching from the Lizard Porsche to the Audi R8. And Trussler taking it into the pits. Currently in 22nd. Dan Wilkerson back in 23rd. Montgomery Jr. back in 24th. A little surprised to see Salem that far back.
Third place winner, third place finisher last week.
So Salem carrying some weight. Mike Greatrix back in 25th. Jonathan Guppett running 26th. Wathen 27th in the pits. Kurt Chandler in 28th. He just switched over from the R8 to the Panos. You can see all that traffic. Wow. 29, Johnny Lugnutz. Alex Scott back in 30th. Brian Story running in 31st. Ken Rodriguez 32nd. Greg Myers, I think Greg set a time in. He's in 33rd. He's heading out now. Darian Bailey 34th. Douglas back at 35th. That's our runners right now. Jaime Moore continues to lead with a pole of 1:10.663. Kevin Savoie right behind him with a 1:10.686. So
yeah, what a battle for pole we've got going on now. Yeah, all the way down to 5th place, so first through 5th place right now, separated by only 1/10 of a second. It's a battle out there. Oh, and Aaron cuts a good one.
Just saw that pop up, so Aaron Parsons, wow, by 3/10. Laying down the law. Oh, he's still on a hot lap. 11.5 seconds to go. Ooh, airing up in sector 1. Looks like he had a big slide there. He might have lost some time there.
Yeah, if you can manage to run 2 timed laps, you're going to be a little bit better off than if you're restricted to running only 1. Now, this is a short track, even though the temperature is up a little bit. Those tires around here, because of that short track, could hold up good for 2 laps. That will be an advantage if you can. I mean, Moore clocks in with the time right behind Aaron Parsons.
Parsons takes it in.
Wow.
I mean, more part of Team Columbia Newies. I mean, more 200s off in sector 1. Sorry, that was sector 2.
Yeah, and that Team Columbia Newies just 10 points off of Team Columbia Vintage. So very, very close with those 2 Colombian teams vying for the early lead.
Final corner here for Hyman. Lost a bunch of time though. So Kevin Savoie rolling out of the pits. 10 minutes to go here in qualifying. Nick Johnston now up to the 4th position. So Nick taking advantage of the dry track. Nick not faring so well last week at Queensland. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I don't want to interrupt your thought there, Al. I was just thinking that these times are really going to be hard to improve on that much. These guys are really fighting for absolutely tenths of a second to gain advantage over each other. Given the nature of the short track here and kind of the way you have to get around, it's right on the edge driving just for small gains.
Nick up in sector 1, so it's right along with Nick here. Right here, they're very deceptive. Feels like you can really put the hammer down, but you gotta be careful not to run it wide. It loses a bit of time there in the middle part of the track.
Yeah, the Mercedes will not be as good here in the last couple sectors as some of the other cars, but he's got that rear end sliding on entry pretty nicely. Looks like it's working well for him. Oh, sliding a little too nicely.
Yeah, a little too hot in the final corner.
Such a tough corner to get that entry right.
Rico Triana currently in 5th. Moses still in running 6th. Andres Prieto back in 7th. He's carrying some winner's weight here tonight. After he won last week at Queensland. Talking about Nick. Nick finishing 22nd last week. Behind his teammate.
Yeah, he just never got comfortable with the wet conditions out there, I don't think, and perhaps got mired in a little bit of traffic and had a few offs, and the Mercedes just didn't appear to be working for him at all out there.
Well, he is up in the 1st sector. I have a feeling that weight's going to play a role here in the middle part of this track. He lost a bunch of time there. Nearly a second. So we got some exciting tracks coming up after this one. We're going to head to Laguna Seca. Then we'll be at, we'll make a stop in Canada at Mount Tremblant.
A couple crowd favorites, those 2 tracks, Al. Everybody loves those. Whoa, Rodrigo throws it off. Ooh, gets into the wall.
be at Mid-Ohio. So we got some fun coming up.
Yeah, the event organizers doing a great job on the tracks once again this season out.
Behind me more, just 2/100ths of a second off of Parsons the whole time. Parsons continues to lead this session. Noticing a lot of guys having trouble putting the power down, just looping the cars.
Yeah, there aren't. There's a couple spots where you do need to get on the accelerator very early, and you have some challenges to do that with either curbing or just the nature of the bumpiness of the track. So turn 2, and also coming out of turn 6 in that chicane there. A couple of very difficult spots. In the last corner, you can slide it on entry and exit both ways. So
Savoie,
a couple troubles.
Savoie was up big in sector 2, but he's got, I believe that's Ken Rodriguez up ahead of him. That's he's gonna lose all that time. So Savoie looks like he's got the pace to set a pole lap, but as long as he gets some clear traffic, and still he only finished 4/10 off. He lost over 6/10 there, just in that final sector. Caught up quick to that Viper.
Yeah, Kevin Savoie just demolishing the field in that second sector, full 2/10 up. On the other closest, that would be Jaime Moore.
Well, just under 5 minutes to go here. Quick rundown of the field. Matt Taylor engaged in the top 10, currently at 9th. Juan Monroy running in 10th. Marty Uren, we talked about him. He is in 11th. Marty, a pole sitter at Ruapuna. He's on an out lap. He and Joe LaCour are currently 12th. Hamilton 13th. Rich Roman back in 14th. Kevin Miller has jumped up to 15th, followed by Laurent Bassman in 16th. Laurent on a flyer. It's like the third time we've seen him do that. Thomas Schubeck in 17th. Salem 18th. You can just see how much traffic is out there. John Houston running in the 19th position. Kreshnik Khalili in 12th. I'm sorry, 20th. Mikey Monahan in 21st. Dan Wilkerson running 22nd. Trussell back at 23rd. Mike Graytrix 24th. Jens Klebnauer back at 25th. Up at 26th. Lugnutz is at 27th. Kurt Chandler is in the 28th position. Locked at 29th. Scott 30th. Greg Myers 31st. Ryan Story is at 32nd. Ken Rodriguez 33rd. Darian Bailey 34th. Douglas in the final spot. So back up front, Aaron Parsons continues to lead here in qualifying. Jaime Moore just ahead of him on the road.
Yeah, these guys will be preparing now to get their last couple timed laps in here, so they're really kind of anxious to avoid any kind of lap traffic that they can.
See if Jaime's able to improve. He's not. Parsons can improve on his time. Nope. Savoie missed that second split. He's around the final corner. No improvement for Kevin. He's going to keep going, however.
Wow, this is exciting. These times are so close, and these guys can pick up so many spots just with a little tiny bit of time. The field now about down from 1st to 20th, covered only by about a second.
Ooh, Nick Johnston, 200ths off in Sector 1. Savoie right behind him. Third and fifth positions. Nick down 4/10 in Sector 2. Savoie behind nearly a 10th.
We know that Savoie's got some pace in the last sector, though, that he's given up. So if he's only down a 10th, he's doing pretty good.
It's a matter of getting this last corner right for Savoie. Decent for Savoie. No improvement for either of the two.
Yeah, this is it. These are going to be the last laps coming.
Parsons up in Sector 1. Like 9,000ths of a second.
Yeah, our current pole sitter coming around. Really hanging that Mustang out, too. Boy, he got through that chicane nice.
Yeah, that's one of the strong suits for that Mustang. We know, we've talked about it in the past, but it's really good over the bumps. To the line. Ooh, no improvement. I mean, more. He's done. He's not going to get a lap in. So last done. Breto to 4th. Johnston's done. Rodrigo Triano, let's see. He's about to. He should be able to get this in. Moses is parked it. And Rodrigo at the final moments jumps up to 4th, bumping Andres back to 5th.
Wow, that could be important.
Matt Taylor in 9th, coming around the final corner. Oh, he did not get it in. Oh, he did, but he was off 6/10. He didn't improve.
What an exciting qualifying session. Now, a couple of quick standouts for me. Andres Prieto with 40 kilograms, putting up a time there good for 5th place. Now, Rodrigo Triana eclipsing him, of course. He is clear of Andres Prieto and Jaime Moore in that team classification, but Jaime Moore takes 2nd for Team Columbia Newies. And, boy, Matt Taylor coming in at 9th. Nice time for Matt Taylor.
Yeah, it certainly was a great time for Matt. Nice to see. And Jaime Moore. I know these guys. I saw them throughout the week putting in a lot of time for the two Colombian teams. So those guys certainly out to prove something this season, and they're off to a great start. Nick Johnson with a strong time, checking in at the 6th spot. But wow, you gotta tip your hat to Matt Taylor for putting in that time, and you gotta wonder if Alex Scott and Mike Trussell chose the wrong time to switch over to that Audi, because looks like that Porsche is good around here.
I would think that the Porsche would have a slight advantage over the Panos, but overall the Panos is a fine choice. It handles not as good as the Porsche, but it's got gobs and gobs of power and handles pretty damn fine. So the Panos isn't going to hurt them, but obviously the Porsche is no slouch either. Will perform at most tracks just fine.
Yeah, but a comment on the chat board is 1 second is separating 1st through 20th, so actually about 21st. It's really close times here.
Yeah, and the whole field is covered by about 2 seconds. So that's great to see. I mean, the level of talent top to bottom here at NAGP just doesn't cease to amaze, because these guys do put in the work, and it shows out on track. Now, another standout for me, I guess, in the opposite direction would be Salem Montgomery Jr. Now, he's carrying a little bit of weight, some 20 kilos, but Salem not on the pace he was last week. So languishing back a bit, and that's could spell trouble on this track. It's a very tight place, going to be tough to pass.
Yeah, a little surprised to see Mike Monahan back in 22nd. So we'll see how things turn out here. I know it's going to be a tough couple laps here to start this race, especially those first two slow corners, turns 2 and 3. So hopefully these guys try not to overdo it. It's going to be a quick run into turn 2. There's a little kink on the main straight. They call that turn 1. So turn 2, it's a quick run down to that first heavy braking zone. So we'll see.
Yeah, and you know that kink.
Go ahead, Brad.
Sorry, yeah, that kink could pose some challenges too. I mean, it's not so wide that you don't have to be a little bit careful if there's a guy right next to you. So you're absolutely right. That turn 2 is going to be, they'll get through it. I'm confident.
Kind of similar to Macau in some ways, where you have that kink, but just probably not as pronounced. So as we move over to the warm-up here, quick rundown of the standings here in GT2.
I'll be right back.
You got it. Andres Preto leading the Drivers' Championship here excuse me, in GT2 with 56 points, followed by a tie for second between Aaron Parsons and David Poole with 44, but that will change as David Poole is not here tonight. Juan Monroy in third with 41, and a tie for fourth between Rodrigo Triana and Chris Moses with 36. In the team championship, Team Columbia Vintage, that would be Juan Monroy and Rodrigo Triana. They are in first with 77 team points, followed by Team Columbia Nuis. That's Andres Preto and Jaime Moore. They have their 10 points back with 67. Two slackers racing, David Poole and Salem Montgomery Jr. in third with 62. T-Brock Dan Bam GT2 in fourth. That's John Houston and Aaron Parsons. They are in fourth with 60. And Precision Motor Racing's Chris Moses and Thomas Schubeck in fifth with 43 points. So the team championship can swing mightily race to race. So that is usually not decided until the very end. So and it's a kind of fun championship for us to follow around. But as these guys make their way around, practice their start.
Yeah, well, and we were talking about before the race, and in our pre-race discussion here about the pit line, wouldn't be a bad idea to practice those pit ends a little bit too, because it is very tight and tricky. There's about one car width of pavement there, and the timing line comes up rather quickly.
Well, we did have a couple penalties from last week. Just bringing that up right now, sorry. So yeah, Marco Conti, who I don't know if he's here tonight or not. Oh, he is. He served a no qual for first lap contact, and Mikey Monahan carrying an extra 20 kilograms for an outfall contact last week. So that might explain why Mikey's languishing a bit back there in the field. David Rowley has made his way in. His teammate Alex White not going to be here tonight. So looks like we're going to see a new champion in GT2 this season, as Alex White last season's GT2 champion has come upon some hard luck to start this season with some disconnects, and not here tonight. So
well, you don't want to count a guy like Alex White out of anything till it's over, but let's just say that he is tied with teammate David Rowley for a total of 9 points. So those two tied with 9 points in the Drivers' Championship. That is a ways off of Andres Prieto's 56 total point. So some work to do for Alex White, indeed. It's tough out there. If you expect to win one of these championships, you do have to be good. You also have to get lucky. I mean, I was being very serious about the talent top to bottom all the way through the field. If you expect to be earning points on a regular basis, you better be getting some laps in, and you better be hoping for a little bit of luck along the way too, because it's tough.
Well, we got Ian Jolicoeur in the booth with us. Ian, do you copy?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, good. We'll see you. Kind of a tough qualifying for you tonight, Ian. I figured we'd see you up towards the front, but how's that BMW feeling? It looks like the other BMW squad is languishing a bit back in the field tonight as well. Is it a tough track for that car?
I'd say a tough track overall. The track's tight, and getting room in qualifying was difficult to getting a clean lap in. So you just run what you've got in front of you and run it hard.
So have you had the chance to get much practice in for tonight's race, Ian, or were you pretty limited as you are many times?
No, the fun race that we had about a month back was pretty much the gist of my practice. But if there's any types of circuits that I like, it's street circuits. So had a long day at work today, got in, and just got on here about 20 minutes ago. Should be a good race, though.
Well, good luck, Ian. We'll be rooting for you.
Thanks.
All right, well, there you have it. Ian Jolicoeur checking in.
Yeah, and the thing about guys like Ian, even with limited practice, you know, they find a way to be able to survive the opening laps and be able to kind of work into the race, work into the track, figure out the lines as the race goes along. So if Ian can hang on for a while, and we've seen it many times in the past, he does tend to work his way forward.
All right, warm-up's about to change over to the race. Ooh. Oh, well, what do you know? Damp track, 89 degree Fahrenheit track temp, 81 degree ambient. Conditions call for rain. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys start on slicks, Brad. Let's, it is mighty dark out there, but starting from pole, Aaron Parsons, followed by Jaime Moore in second, Kevin Savoie third, Rodrigo Triana in fourth, and Andres Prieto will be fifth.
Nick Johnston will start 6th, Chris Moses is in 7th, Felipe Triana starts 8th, Matt Taylor's in 9th, and Juan Monroy starts 10th.
Track just went to dry. Marty Uren 11th, Ian Jolicoeur 12th, Christian Hamilton 13th, Rich Roman 14th, and Loren Vassman 15th.
Thomas Schubeck starts 16th, Salem Montgomery Jr. is in 17th, John Houston 18th, Curtis Chandler 19th, Kreshnik Halili 20th.
Dan Wilkerson 21st, 22nd, Mike Monahan, Mike Trussler 23rd, Mike Greatrix 24th, Jens Klempnauer 25th. A lot of Mikes.
26 is Johnny Lugnuts. Jonathan Cuppett starts 27th, John Wathen starts 28th, Alex Scott in 29th, and Gregory Myers in 30th.
Brian Story 31st, Ken Rodriguez 32nd, Darian Bailey 33rd, David Rowley 34th, Marco Conti will start 35th, and Gup Douglas will be in the back starting 36th. So, started damp, however the track has gone to dry. 25 seconds to go. Who's it going to be, Brad?
This is a real tough one to call. Aaron Parsons out there on pole. If he does manage to get out front, I think that he's going to be the most dangerous guy here around this place with his experience. It's a tight track. Anything can happen. Anybody can go off at any time. First order of business, Al. Survive turn 1.
Jaime Moore's first time on the front row. Let's see how he manages it. We're off. great start by Parsons. Slow start, getaway by Moore. Wow. And it's Parsons and Savoie, 1-2, heading into 1, followed by, I believe that's... Ooh, as we got a little bit of contact in the back between Moses, Triana, and Monroy. Moses has been spun around. There you go. There you have it.
Tough start to the season for Moses in both classes.
Schubeck now up to 14th. We had some more drama in the back. Body parts flying. Strong start for Parsons, however. Moses with a puncture, right rear.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough for him to get back in the pits. He's almost there. Luckily for him, it's a short track.
Yeah, and that's really an odd situation for Chris Moses to be in. He doesn't find himself in those types of situations very often, but here he is, and he's going to have to deal with it like everybody else.
Yeah, so looks like he's done. Someone left. I'm not sure if it was him. Ooh, Triana takes it very wide. Ooh, he gets it back together, but he real out of shape as his brother Felipe. All over the back of them.
Well, they are pretty tough conditions out there, Al. After all, the track does still have a little bit of moisture on it.
Big slide by Felipe. Nick Johnson looking to take advantage, followed by Joe LaCour, who jumped up to 7th.
Boy, 14th to 7th.
Yeah, Matt Taylor with a little bit of front-end damage there. No doubt got caught up in that first lap incident, but still hanging strong there, running an 8th. Marty Ren up to 9th. Mikey Monahan, after starting 22nd, has jumped up to 11th. Now
wow.
Battling with Monroy. Hamilton followed by Bassman. Schubeck, Moses has rejoined. A lap down. That's it's going to be interesting what Moses does here. He may just double stint this race to make up some positions, and it's maybe a track he could get away with it on.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Al. I haven't run any tire tests around this place, but if you can, I would definitely recommend it.
So Rich Roman battling Thomas Schubeck for that 14th position. Ooh, we got
there's McLaren coming into the pits, Al.
Looks like Jaime Moore.
Wow.
So Jaime Moore is in. This may be a stop and go. He could have cut that chicane. We saw him do it in qualifying. Oh, he's still... Oh, he's on the jacks. He must have suffered a puncture. Oh. What a tough break for Moore, who started second. Meanwhile...
Yeah, obviously a tough deal.
Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say, it's obviously a tough deal for Columbia Newies now. That gives advantage to vintage Columbia.
Well, the three guys up front, Parsons, Savoie, and Preto have kind of checked out for the rest of the field. Nick Johnson has gone around Triana for 4th, so look for Nick to start making some inroads on these guys up front. Prato carrying some weight. Nick is not. So Nick, ooh, as the rains, it looks like it started to come down again. The track has gone to damp.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, wow.
So this could actually turn out into Moses' favor.
Yeah, and that was a strange stop by Jaime Moore. So you think he might have seen the rain and dove in for tires or something now?
Would seem to me it'd be a bit premature, but it could have been the case. Triana now running in 5th. Joe LaCour now up to 6th. Wow, what a great start for Ian. Triana, Marty, and Taylor back to 9th. Monroy running in 10th. You're really starting to see the spray coming up. See if anybody decides to dive into the pits here.
It's a tough situation. Track is at 94 degrees Fahrenheit, so there's plenty of heat still in those tires, and if you swap onto some type of treaded tire, then you're going to get a lot of heat coming through that rubber.
Marty and Triana side by side. Triana looking on the inside of Marty. They bump, and Philippe takes it back. Matt Taylor, he's going to have a look on the inside of Marty now. A little cleaner with those two going through that corner. So Matt remains in 8th. Actually, Matt's gone up a spot. So someone up front must have possibly dove into the pits.
Yeah, I think that was Jaime Moore that slotted those positions one up.
Brent Bassman now in 11th. Schubeck up to 12th. Roman and Montgomery 13th and 14th.
All right, some very tough strategy decisions now coming for these guys. Looks like they're okay for now, but given how quickly the track dried out, I'm wondering if it's going to get wet just as quickly. Oh, is that? Oh, I think Marty's had a moment at turn 2.
Yeah, he has, and he's fallen back to 11. Ooh, he kind of threw it in there on Monahan. Settle down, Marty.
You know, and I have to say, we have not seen Marty run very strong in our events this season. I think part of it is due to the rain. I don't know that he's quite gotten comfortable out there in the wet stuff this season.
Ooh, nearly gets into the back of Monahan. I'm over Bassman. Following this battle. Ooh, we got a car off stage left. It looks like that might be Jaime.
Yeah, I think he's trying to let him through.
And Monahan into the pits. Well, wow, Jaime in a tough spot here.
Yeah, really.
I think he just had some contact with Schubeck. Now Moses. His carbon fiber flying everywhere. Oh, there goes Vassman. So Vassman gets it going again. Wow, what a hectic start to this race. Hamilton up to 15. Wathen running in 16th. Wathen, I believe, started from the back. Lugnut 17th, and Houston back at 18th. Greatrix and Story, followed by Halili at 21st. Kurt Chandler running 22nd. Klepnow at 23rd. Ken up to 24th. Alex Scott running in 25th. Dan Wilkerson, Marco Connie, Jonathan Cuppin in 28th, Gup Douglas running 29th. Ooh, as Klepnauer has lost it, so Gup's going to jump up to 28th.
Matt Taylor into the pits from 9th.
Bailey running 30th. Lugnuts, oh, take that back, Lugnuts is 30th. Trussell 31st. Ah, it looks like someone's gone off. So Mikey Monahan, oh, he's got some heavy front end damage. He's running in 32nd. Myers 33rd. Chris Moses now back at 34th after that first lap episode. And Jaime Moore now heavy damage to that McLaren in 35th. Wow. So this race is scheduled for 59 laps. Do not think we'll go that far. But I'll tell you what, Kevin Savoie really starting to put the heat on Parsons for that overall lead.
Yeah, here in the last couple laps, that gap has gone from 1.2 to, you know, well, what you can see on your screen right there. So Kevin has really closed it in here now that the track has really gotten some moisture on it. Boy, such tough conditions out there, fighting for the lead, probably right on the edge for both these guys, and still trying to get around each other cleanly here. Great drives.
Ooh, big moment for Parsons. He spins it in the chicane, and Savoie gets by. Prato with a second. Parsons rejoins at third. Nick Johnson remains in fourth. He's got some lap traffic between him and Parsons. Wow. Very unusual.
Rare moment for Aaron. Yeah, rare moment for Aaron Parsons. Aaron Parsons generally does no mirror driving at all, steady as a rock, but I think that might have gotten to him a little bit, that pressure put on by Savoie.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if that was so much mirror driving or just the way he hit that the curbing on that chicane. It really upset that Mustang when he tried to put the power down and looped it. In these conditions especially. So track remains damp.
Yeah, I think there is starting to be a little bit more spray out there though. Don't know that it's gotten a whole bunch wetter or it's doing it very quickly, but I think inch by inch here we're getting a little bit more moisture down on track.
So Savoie now leading by just under 3 seconds over Prato. So Prato with a little bit of luck here to start this race. Got some mistakes from guys up ahead, taking advantage and getting through clean, considering all that weight he's carrying heading into tonight's race.
Yeah, and looking back through timing and scoring, the laps have been getting progressively slower, so it definitely is getting a little bit more moisture. And we are seeing a bevy of pit stops now taking place. Chandler, Houston, and Scott all in at the moment.
Ooh, as Monahan has spun it and lost his rear deck. So you wonder if Houston pitting is to help his teammate Parsons, who's battling up the front. Could have gone on to hard wets possibly, or he actually just came out right behind his teammate, so he's going to give him some good recon info and let Parsons know.
Yeah, that is a good, strong veteran team, and they will organize things like that, so it's a very good possibility that they talked about that. Meanwhile, Ian Jolicoeur has come in from the 6th position.
Johnston has spun it, exiting turn 2.
Oh!
He's trying to get it around, trying to find that clutch. There you go.
Oh!
So Triana has taken advantage, jumped up to 4th. So, wow, tough break for Nick. Nick now has fallen back to 6th as Marty now up into the 5th position.
Yeah, and we've seen that Mercedes in the past, not only by Nick Johnston last week, but Laurent Weissman, teammate Laurent Weissman as well. So that Mercedes, not too good a performer in the rain, it doesn't appear. So of course, the slick tires don't help.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, rejoins right behind Triana. As you can see, Nick really struggling to put the power down in that Mercedes. Monroy and Joe LaCour, it looks like. I'm sorry, Rich Roman has jumped up to 9th, so I'm not sure what happened to Ian. He was running a good run. Who is Roman? Gets a good... Oh, Monroy taking it slow. He's bringing it into the pits.
Yeah, a whole bunch of guys stopping. You're in, Triana, Johnson, Monroy.
Track's gone to wet. Everybody coming in now. Nick and Felipe. Hamilton staying out. Lugnut stays out. Ooh. Schubeck looks like he's stayed out. Pelili in. Story in. A lot of guys staying out. Joe LaCour, I wonder if he has already pitted.
I'm only seeing one stop by Joe LaCour there on the last lap when we saw him come in.
So Matt Taylor running in 10th, Joe LaCour 11th. Let's take a look at the leaders. Savoie has stayed out. Preto is in. Parsons is in.
Aaron just now in.
So,
you know, and part of this could be very well. There aren't a ton of pit bays here, so it's very possible these guys are trying to call for that stop, and the box was not available. They had to run a couple extra laps.
Good point there, Brad. Great point. So Savoie looking to be getting around okay in these conditions. Triana up to 2nd, but I don't think he has made his stop yet. No way. The way he's sliding that car around.
No.
So Parsons is away. He's going to rejoin in 3rd. Preto. Slow stop. As Parsons rejoins, well, now 4th, but beats Preto out of the pits.
Yeah, by a good 5 seconds anyway, so so that gap has definitely opened up. Very odd to see Andres Prieto with a slow stop, but it's happened this time.
Savoie is in. See what Triana opts to do here. He's got to come in. I think he's still on the slicks. Yep, he's in. Greatrix as well is going to have to make a stop.
Yeah, and he has some traffic behind that has pitted as well, so here for the next couple corners, he's going to have to play it very cautiously around this faster traffic. He's really got a train stacked up behind him.
As 3 wide, wow.
Oh. I think Mike did the best job he possibly could there. I think that was tough. A couple guys going to either side of him. Not much he could do about that. Really almost got through an impossible 3-wide corner. Those guys almost made it.
Preto gets spun. Taylor now up to 3rd. Joe LaCour running 4th. Preto, Greatrix is in. Marty, you ran with some heavy front-end damage. Looks like he's got a puncture. Oh, right at the start of the lap, too.
And Matt Taylor has come in that rotation very early relative to the rest of this field. It's paying huge dividends right now. That is 3rd place as they run on track.
Trying to find where Preto is.
5th place out.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, as one of the Audis loses it. Looks like that it was either Trussler or Scott. Schubeck now up to 20, well, back to 24th. Ooh, Trussler nearly gets into the back of Schubes. Montgomery really struggling back in 30th. Bailey, ooh, Bailey, he was off pace, and one of the Corvettes gets into the back of him. Bailey has lost his rear deck, his rear wing. Wow.
Yeah, that was Juan Monroy.
Oh,
Juan Monroy.
So you see Bailey now, he's going to have to be very careful. Oh, he nearly got him again.
Yeah, and for these championship contenders, guys like Juan Monroy, that's exactly what we were talking about with the luck factor.
Wow. Madness. As Savoie now, after his stop, comes out in the lead. Parsons not that far back. He's got him in sight. Savoie has got some lap traffic up ahead of him.
Like Marty ran back into the pits, I think.
Oh, we got another.
Yeah, back into the pit.
Well, that Ferrari could have done a better job letting him by, but so Marty, he had a strong start, but now he's going to lose a ton of positions the way this race is turned out. So Matt Taylor in third. Who here doesn't like rain?
Yeah, Matt Taylor stopping some 4 or 5 laps earlier than the other front runners, and it has just, like I was saying, paid huge dividends for him. Now, as things have settled down a little bit after this pit stop rotation, he's given up a little bit of time now to leader Kevin Savoie and Aaron Parsons, but not too much really. And so is in great shape here early on. Matt Taylor's run well in the rain in the past, and I see the conditions have gone toward flooded now. So it's getting wetter.
So Jolie Court now up to 4th. Oh, so he's quickly closing up on Taylor. So Jolie. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. We just had a flash of lightning, and we were just talking about Matt Taylor there. Matt Taylor's got to be on the intermediates. He couldn't have expected this thing to go really super wet here, so he could actually be in trouble as it turns out.
Yeah, I'm not
Ooh,
sure.
Aaron Parsons is backed up.
So you got to wonder, the majority of these guys are probably on hard wets.
Yeah, certainly the guys that stopped in the last couple, 3, 4 laps are definitely on a full treaded tire for sure.
Yeah, so Taylor, word on the pit lane is he's on hard wets. So
okay.
So I'm guessing the majority of this field took the hard wets, and it is quite hot, so you got to wonder if the tires are holding temp.
Yeah, I should think that they would be okay. Now, some of the cars might struggle a little bit at the front tires, might stay a tiny bit cool, but 90 degrees should be plenty of temperature for those hard wet.
How about with Joe LaCour as he tries to chase down Taylor for that 3rd spot?
Ooh, Aaron almost loses it coming off the final corner. Yeah, Aaron, it doesn't appear to me this stage of the race quite as sharp as Kevin Savoie out front. Kevin Savoie has opened up a bit of a gap. Now 4.5 seconds back to Aaron.
Viper coming out of the pit lane. We talked to he and Joe LaCour at the start of this race. He nearly. Oh, he does lose it. Whoa, he collects the Viper. Oh my God.
Oh!
We got a huge wreck. Massive pileup. Moses is involved. Joe LaCour has lost his front clip. The lap portion of Cuppet. Wow.
Boy, tough conditions out there.
Joe LaCour with a puncture He's going to really have to nurse that car back.
You know, the way things are going, though, you get in, you get that thing fixed up, and you just never know where you're going to end up toward the end of this race. If it stays like this, you could end up winning the thing.
Hey, look what we have here. John Houston now, pitted early, is now up to 7th after everything's said and done.
How about the position in front of him, Al?
John Watson up to 6th. What's the world coming to?
Chris Moses 30th, John Wathan 6th. I love it. Well, I don't love it. It's interesting.
So another strong showing for Wathan and a strong showing last week's GT1 race at Monza. But wow, we haven't seen a wreck like that. We had like 5 cars collected. I mean, we typically, you'll see stuff, you know, in the first lap or two, but not halfway through a race where you see that big of a pileup. No. Triana now running in the 5th position. Prato in 4th, Matt Taylor. So Prato benefited from Joe LaCour's incident. So Prato now starting to put the pressure on, well, trying to put the pressure on Taylor. Taylor with a great exit there, so.
You know, he is trying to put the pressure on Matt Taylor, but interesting looking through timing and scoring, Matt Taylor is not giving up any ground to Aaron Parsons. In fact, he is gaining a little bit. Now, that gap is still pretty big at about 6 seconds, but Matt Taylor slowly creeping ground back on Aaron Parsons for 2nd.
So, what a great story here unfolding for Taylor. Looking back, we got Triana and Wathan, 5th and 6th. Houston up to 7th. So, Joe LaCour just exited the pit lane after getting serviced. Nick Johnston running in 8th. Rich Roman now up to 9th. Rodrigo Triana in 10th. Hamilton looks like he is in a, well, he just lost the position to Halili. So Hamilton now down to 12th. Klepnauer in 13th. And look at this, Dan Wilkerson running in the 14th position. Followed by Greg Myers in 15th in the points. And Alex Scott, who's bringing it into the pit lane from 16th. Johnny Lugnuts now will take over that spot. He is running Marco Conti right behind him in 17th. Trussler in 19th. So we got some guys now diving back into the pits. Looks like Scott's in. Kurt Chandler is in. Mike Greatrix running in 19th. Montgomery Jr. in 20th. Marty Urent running 21st. Gup Douglas in 22nd, followed by Juan Monroy as Monroy looks to make the move on Gup going into turn 2. Ooh, we got a, well, I'm not sure, I think that might have been Houston with slow to get away there as Monroy continues to look to make the pass on Gup. And, ooh, Gup, looks like he gave it to him. Gup at 24th. Joe LaCour rejoins after his wreck in 25th. Scott out of the pits at 26. Wonder why he's taking a look at timing here. We're working lap 23. So it looks like Nick Johnston might have pitted also. Jaime Moore running 27th. Moses now 28th, followed by Bailey in 29th. Chandler running 30th. Rodriguez 31st. And that's your running order.
Yeah, so quick update. Rich Roman and Nick Johnston both came in. They're only running about a 1.5 seconds apart, so we got to figure some of these stops are their scheduled fuel pit window. After taking tires, they didn't add any fuel, so I've dove in and taken that fuel. And you got to suspect that these guys are going to be looking to run the rest of the way on their tire change if they can. So they'll be trying to do that. Looks like Andres Prieto, in the meantime, has gotten past Matt Taylor for that third spot.
My game just crashed. I'm not sure who left, but my game just went down.
Well,